Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns today for a Zelda 2 Rando Max Rando tournament match. Winners bracket round 2 here today between BuzzThunder and levelengine. And we're going to get this one started quickly, so I'm just going to hand this one over to Melee Wizard on comms and take us away.
Thank you, Cubs Rule. So we got ourselves a pretty good one. As you can see on our trackers, we will be starting with the glove, which is a really nice thing to see. Although without fairy or the key, being able to actually dig dungeons might be still a little bit limited, but we'll have to see. And we'll also see what else our runners start with. I did scout the seed ahead of time, mostly just so we can have the stuff on the tracker ahead of time. So I know what they start with, but I might as well at least let the runners show you first. It will be underway in moments. The level engine's name selection ended up being rather prophetic, so we got 5 lives, 8 hearts, the spell, and a 6 gem seed, so we're gonna have to go through all the dungeons today. And I believe that was the town of Ruto. Not even bothering to check to see where the trophy is, but oh well. At least it's close to start, so it wouldn't take that long to check the hint if it comes down to it. That looks like a pass-through cave on levelengine's side. It's a good thing our runners are starting with a lot of health, because we got red Dairas right off the bat, and there's the back end of Saria, which really doesn't have anything for us since we already have the spell from there. Let's see, BuzzThunder did a quick up A, and ooh, found another cave going the other direction. Nice. So BuzzThunder, I believe, is that Heart Container Cave, and I think leveligine's in Medicine Cave. I always get those couple ones mixed up. All I know is that they both have items in it, and that's really all that matters. And it's a candle. As our runners don't really need a candle, but it's always nice to be able to see what you're doing, and perhaps more to the point, see where the enemies are. Alright, so what's leveligine's first item? It's the boots. Okay, then. That one's a bit more useful than the candle. At least having cleared out all the big enemies, getting out will be a bit easier than going in. And levelengine finds a great palace. Okay. And that is Palace 1. Decides to earmark that for later, because, we could still be key locked out of there. So that's 2 of our palaces found already. BuzzThunder about to get his boots. Early boots, always a nice thing to see, no matter which Zelda game you're playing. It's another pass-through cave. Well, yeah, true. I guess I should have conditioned that with Zelda games that actually have boots. Level engine finding Raruru. Checking for hints, and we'll be seeing what spell we've got. Does Buzz decide to dig one? No. And the dude abides. And what does the dude give us? It gives us the jump spell. Nice bit of utility. No hints so far, though. And there's... well, that's either got to be Mido or the front half of Saria, and it turns out to be Mido. And with the jump spell, he'll be able to get that, to get the down stab, which is always nice. So what is... alright, we won't be able to get the spell out of here yet, but we can at least get information on where the medicine is. And it appears that I am joined by Frico. Hello, sir.
It's not safe to go alone. Take this with you.
Yeah, you haven't missed much.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna need a little bit of refresher here. It looks like we start with boots and glove.
They started with the glove. They found the boots in Medicine Cave.
Ah, okay.
They started. It was 5 lives, 8 hearts, glove, and the spell from the Saria spot.
Okay. So we're missing things like ferry, a key. So we can't just jump right into dungeons, can we? Or palaces, excuse me.
Logically, no, though we have seen P1. We've seen P1 and GP so far.
Well, I guess we're not going into Great Palace.
No, unfortunately. Not with a 6 gem seed, no.
Oh, it's a 6 gem seed, okay. So, Palace 1 would give you the keys to complete it throughout the dungeon, wouldn't it?
Theoretically, yes, but it's just a matter of where those keys are, and if the keys are key locked, then you're kind of screwed.
Oh, yes. Randomizer, right.
And there's the trophy, which is nice. Ruto was right next to start, so we'll be able to get the spell out of there real quick. Notably, neither of our runners checked the hint for it. So if either of them checked the hint for the Mido spot, I didn't see what it was because I was kind of distracted by you coming in.
Well, it didn't look like either runner were in a town when I had joined in.
But see, BuzzThunder, well, at least levelengine was in Mido. It looks like BuzzThunder is now. Having gotten the jump spell from Raruru, they'll be able to get downstab at the very least.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what BuzzThunder's doing. Activating jump and going for it. Uh-oh. BuzzThunder, that's some sage advice. You'll stab your eye out. Hopefully the the upstab trainer will let him know that you're supposed to use the pointy end on the bad guy.
Well, there's the raft for levelengine. And notably, Level Engine saw there was a key drop there. Level Engine didn't go for it, which I find odd. And it looks like the medicine is in the east.
Now, wouldn't that key end up going, alright, get into Palace 1? Maybe, I'm missing a little bit of information, but if I'm seeing, okay, I have keys, now I can get past a key blocked, get to a key blocked key with a random key being dropped. Or am I just overthinking this, Melee?
Overthinking is might be a common thing in randomizers, especially in a race situation. But we got the grass tile, actually another P bag that able to get attack 4 real quick.
Yeah, Level Engine going with the 100% all keys strat of racing right to attack 4.
And that is Palace 2. So the Western Continent has 1, 2, and GP.
Well, Palace 2, we don't really have to worry about being glove blocked, because, well, glove.
We already have the glove, yeah. Which is always nice. Especially since Level Engine being kind of psychic with his name selection, naming his character Glove Please.
Yeah, so, speaking of our runners, you did go over the fact that this is a winner's bracket match?
Yes.
Things like that?
Yep, Cubs Rule mentioned that at the top.
Okay. Just want to make sure. There were almost 7 minutes where I was not here, so...
Right.
Don't want to go over something that's already been mentioned, but then I also want to make sure that it has been mentioned.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there might be viewers that came in late as well.
Very true.
So since Level Legend has the raft and the trophy, I'm curious as to when he'll see if he will be our first one to head to the east, and probably checking the spell out of Ruto along the way.
Now, you have Palace 1.
There it is, right there.
You have Palace 1 and Palace 2, which, for the most part, are doable as is. Do you go east, try to see if you can find more? Because 3, 4, 5, 6 are all on the eastern continent. Like hours of observation
right.
Finally working. It's a little early for me, but Level Engine getting the candle that BuzzThunder found previously, as BuzzThunder finds the raft.
Yeah, I think Level Engine is just going to be try and cover a bit more of the overworld before heading east, I guess. So, because this is new territory for him. Well, BuzzThunder had gone this way earlier.
So Level Engine, yeah, that's still the starting palace. So resetting his encounters.
Not a bad idea, especially when you're stuck in the middle of a swamp.
Oh, very true. Level Engine. Looks like he's going for a hint.
And we hadn't seen any hints aside from the medicine being in the east. That was the only hint we've seen so far.
Alright, so Level Engine picking up a spell. Ooh, Savage.
And this is the shield spell, so Ruto and Raruru just swap places.
So the old man just being a little savage there, saying that Level Engine specifically is the weakest link. I mean, I believe he's the number 4 seed in the tournament, so I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to dispute that logic.
Well, I mean, there's an interesting place for a palace there, and that's either 3 or 6. Goodness knows that old man's gonna tell BuzzThunder the exact same thing, so I'm guessing the old man just has high standards.
Oof, I guess so. Alright, so Level Engine actually going off to the east and doing a little bit of exploration. So, I guess Level Engine trying to go the exploration route. I guess with Palace 1 and 2 being on the west, not exactly the most intimidating of palaces, so...
Well, there's confirmation. There's New Kasuto.
Oh boy. That's gonna mean we need ourselves a hammer.
Most, potentially, yes. If it's locking, fairy, reflect, thunder...
Well, at this point, it's above average odds on that hammer locking out at one of those 3 spells. We have 5 left to uncover.
Yeah.
And it looks like jump and fire are linked.
Kinda as far as linked spells go, because at the higher magic levels, they're both kinda cheap.
Well, it also, makes the hammer a little more valuable because, well, now we've got 2 potential, we've got 2 potential spots that you can get to for free for a spell. I'm trying to math this out right now. We've got 3 spells that we're probably going to need. And I'm saying probably because maybe not fairy?
Yeah, maybe not fairy. Technically, maybe not thunder either.
Okay.
Reflect is definitely a given, though.
Yeah, reflect we're absolutely going to need, as BuzzThunder looks to be going for the upstab.
Yep, found Darunia.
And I think Level Engine has Darunia in his sights, although presently in an encounter. So we have a 20% shot.
Finds Naburu first, though.
So let's see if I'm mathing this out right. There's a 20% shot that the hammer will not be needed at all for anything.
And the child is vanilla.
Because there's only one whammy, and that's needing the hammer for reflect specifically.
Yes, guaranteed whammy, yes.
The rest is a nice little mathematical gray area, and I think it doesn't necessarily add up to 100%. Because there are variations and it gets ugly, but I would say it's about another 20% that we won't need the hammer, the flute, the anything. And, you just find the town and, oh look, here's the spell you need. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, meanwhile, Level Engine getting the fire spell out of Naburu.
Now, Jacober actually brings up a point in chat. Which spell items are we going to need? I don't believe the first 3 spell slots use any of the items. Or does one use the trophy?
We already got the trophy. That was Ruto. That was Shield. And there's the medicine.
Well, medicine's in play now. Okay.
And we already got the hint that the child was in the maze.
Okay, so Level Engine continuing the explore the map all the way narrative.
And I'm presuming that he actually went into Darunia, but just didn't bother getting upstab, at least not yet.
We'll see. I did not recall seeing Level Engine go in, so...
It would just feel weird that he just passed by the town without at least looking at it.
That's true.
So he might have looked into it, saw it was Darunia, and decided, I'll come back later. there's the River Devil, might actually be
Uh-oh.
blocking something important, and,
No.
well, there's Maze Island up there.
It's not blocking Maze Island, but, well, we could have something. Let's see. No, Level Engine seems to be able to take the long way around. And into a water encounter tile.
That has a red jar.
So he's just gonna nope on out of that. And the cave way at the northeast, no, looks like a pass-through. Level Engine not interested.
Still haven't seen either of our item caves in here yet. And, ooh, it's knocked into the lava. And
Yeah, Level
BuzzThunder
Engine
finds a palace, and it's P4.
Alright, so we've seen 3 or 6 right next to the wrap spot.
Right. Quite literally.
Yeah, that... Alright, so 4's off the menu, so that means 5 and the companion to the 3 or 6 dungeon is in either Maze Island or Death Valley at this point. It does not look like we need the hammer for Three-Eyed Rock.
Yep, that's the Three-Eye Rock is off the table, yeah. So that's potential for Flute just being straight up not required, especially if wherever the stuff that Level Engine's doing is past the River Devil.
It certainly looks like it, but
We
we'll
have
find
our
out
first-
soon enough.
We have our first item cave on the east side for Level Engine. See what we get it. It's another P bag. It's a 200 P bag too. Ouch.
Wow.
Oh,
Alright, well,
BuzzThunder
BuzzThunder's... Yeah,
in Maze
in Maze Island.
and gets the first item. We know one of them's going to be the child, but
Not
it's
that
not
one.
this one. It's a magic container though, which is always nice.
So, Maze Island itself, just to clarify the hint, it does not count whatever palace this is.
Nope. If it mentioned the palace, it would have specified the boss, like
Okay.
a Karok or Rebanak or what have you.
Okay, so it would specifically say Rebanak has the child.
Right.
If it were Palace 3, for example.
Yes.
Alright, so BuzzThunder knows that the next thing he finds is going to be the child?
Yeah,
Or did we
the other
not get
drop
the
down
hint?
will have the child. We got the hint for that.
Okay. I guess the question is did BuzzThunder get the hint for that?
No, BuzzThunder has the hint. Level Legend does not.
Okay.
As far as I saw, anyway.
Alright, well, it looks like Level Engine heading south and not going into Maze Island. Interesting. Get back on that tile. There you go. Alright, so continuing to look through caves.
Well, there's the other item cave, though.
Well, hopefully it'll be a little more exciting than,
Then a 200-point P-bag.
yeah. As BuzzThunder found a magic jar so far in Maze Island, which, for now, almost makes it the right play.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a 500-point B-bag. Technically more exciting than a 200, I guess.
Oh, I want to say something really inappropriate right now, but too early in the morning for that. If it were the late night stream, I think I would go for it, but
I'll take your word for that, I guess.
yeah, I just don't want to get too out of control yet, but nah, that's alright. Alright, so BuzzThunder finding the second drop down, there's the child.
So now it's just a matter of... Does he at least check to see which palace this is? And if so, does he actually... we still don't have Fairy, we still don't have the key, so I doubt he'll dive this.
Oh,
He's
he
not
doesn't even
check which one it
bother.
is.
He's like, nope, don't care. See ya, bye.
I have to come back to clear it out eventually, and by then we'll probably have all the items we'll need.
Sounds like famous last words. Level Engine actually heading back west. Could this put Palace 1 and 2 on the menu for Level Engine at this point?
Maybe. There's still that chance that you could get key-locked, and being key-locked out of 1 or 2 is never a good feat.
Fair point.
But, the chat mentioning these might be going for the Mido spell, since he has the medicine.
Well, that's not Mido.
What Level Engine does from here, who knows? But
yeah,
this one spell might make all the difference here.
Well, BuzzThunder has not cashed in the spell at this point on the medicine. He does have the medicine.
Yeah, he's still exploring caves and whatnot, stuff that we had already seen from our end of, but
yeah. Alright, so neither BuzzThunder nor Level Engine know what the spell is in this town.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess the mystery will be revealed to all.
Yep.
Can't we at least go to
It's
Target?
Vanilla Fairy! Okay, we're in business now.
Alright, so that puts palaces into logic
Yes.
with at least Fairy allowing the runners to pass through the keyholes.
And with 1 and 2 accessible on the Western continent, that's probably best case scenario, because I would think diving those wouldn't be too long, but Level Engine's heading back east.
I think, knowing what I know from what I've seen so far, I would be looking to finish off the Western continent last. Because Great Palace is there, I want to say, alright, I'm going to finish the East, get it done and dusted, and then go back for 1, 2, and Great Palace. And it looks like Level Engine might be heading into Valley of Death. No, you baited me.
I don't think he saw where I think this is his first time seeing P4, I believe.
So he'll see P4 here and go, okay, I've seen two at-large palaces. I know there's a palace on Maze Island, and I know there's one in Death Valley. So off to Maze Island I go at this point.
Possibly. And
There's
maybe
not much more for Level Engine to see, is there?
Yeah. Not on the east, for sure.
Old Kasuto, perhaps?
Yeah, we haven't seen Old Kasuto, yeah.
I mean, we know New Kasuto exists.
And that's confirming that is P5.
Alright, so Level Engine's going to pick up a magic jar.
Yep. And we'll probably search out the other item that we know is the child, but I don't believe Level Engine knows that.
Well, that'll be a little... Well, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate at this point, because... The child...
Well, we haven't seen what that goat leads to yet.
True. Where do we turn the child in?
Darunia.
Okay.
Which is probably why Level Engine just noped out of there, because he... Oh, and BuzzThunder finds Old Kasuto. I didn't see where that was.
It looks like he got around the River Devil.
Considering what I had seen, I'm not that surprised that there's Thunder. Holy cow, a lot of vanilla or close to vanilla spells on this one.
Are we sure this is actually randomized?
Based off of the map layout, I feel confident that yes.
I mean, this looks like regular Zelda 2 spell list to me.
Close to it, yeah.
But, alright, with Thunder being revealed, now that makes the hammer actually a little more valuable, because as we remove the possibility of where it cannot be, that means the possibility of where it can be increases.
I think at this point I want to say it's actually 50-50 between Reflect and Life being the spell in New Kasuto.
Oh, right, we have Fairy, we know where that is, so that was 6 spells for Level Engine on his spell sheet?
Yep.
Or was it
the
5?
Only spells left are in Darunia and New Kasuto, and BuzzThunder's about to check the Darunia spell right now.
Oh boy. So yeah, it is 50% at this point. So now we'll see if the hammer's gonna need to be in play, or not so much. Oh, that's gonna be problematic. If, alright, it looks like BuzzThunder's gonna pick up Fairy. No? Or is this our mystery spell?
There's Reflect.
Reflect.
So Hammer's not required for the spell from New Kasuto, at least.
Well, the New Kasuto's spell isn't needed, but
Right.
There could be something still in New Kasuto otherwise.
So I'm not
Yeah.
sure what would be required at this point. We clearly don't need the flute. The cross is
The key?
optional on the best of days. And a hammer and key, that's it.
Well, you'd have to have the hammer to get into New Kasuto. So we found the tile for it, right?
Right. So
So
like,
the
the
hammer
best thing that
should
it could
be
have
gated
would be the
key.
key, which is, we have a way of circumventing that at this point.
Very true. And it looks like Level Engine is doing exactly that. He's gonna go into a palace. I did not see which one it was.
I think this is one.
So Level Engine back on the west and actually going into Palace 1. Interesting play, but I guess if you find an item here that is of value, I mean, this is really the only spots that are left is our palaces for items.
And well, there's the cross in one.
And
And Fairy is looking Fairy is looking quite expensive at Magic 4. Good thing they hadn't found that magic container in Maze Island, or else they wouldn't even be able to use it right now.
Oh, that would have been brutal. Diving into one and then, I don't know, that key Level Engine passed up before. Oh, that might come back and bite him.
Perhaps.
Because at this point, you're almost looking at, okay, I'm going to hug the Iron Knuckle. I mean, it looks like Level Engine is actually just specifically taking hits at this point, just so he can take a death.
Which makes the fact that they start with 5 lives kind of a blessing in this regard.
Very true. However, that you have to inconvenience yourself on 8 heart containers just to use a fairy spell?
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Well, until we find where that key is, this is all we got.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to play the hand that's dealt to you. You can't just go, oh, well, I want aces every time. So, Level Engine at about 33.5 minutes, gonna dunk our first gem into Palace 1.
Mm-hmm. And just given how expensive Fairy is, yep, getting that Magic 5, we'll see how much of a difference. I did not see how much it cost.
Well, we'll find out soon enough, because I can only assume Level Engine is going to go into another palace. You know, kind of like potato chips. Once you have one, you got to have more. One is not enough.
But yeah, I think BuzzThunder, he's diving into 2. Yeah, the only one that has a spell item to cash in is Level Engine. He never went back to Darunia to get that. Oh, did he get to the Thunder spell from Darunia? No, he didn't.
No, he got Thunder from Old Kasuto.
Oh, right. That it was Reflect from Darunia. Right, I forgot.
Yeah, he's missing Reflect and
Life, which we now know is in New Kasuto.
Yeah. But I don't think we're actually going to go hunting for New Kasuto with the way things are looking.
Well, I think that at the very least, Level Engine saw where it is. We just don't have the Thunder. We don't have the hammer to actually get in there.
Well, at this point, do you go, oh, all right, I'm going to do something that I don't like to do, but I'm going to put you in Level Engine's shoes for a second. Do you just say, alright, I have what I need to start doing palaces. If I find the hammer, fantastic. But I'm not going to go out of my way to really bother with it?
Maybe if it was on the way back to Maze Island or something, maybe. Which I want to say it is, because I don't think it took that long to find that forest tile. And it all really depends on if we find the key before then. If we find the key before that point, then I'd probably... it's gonna be a hard decision with as expensive as Fairy has proven to be so far. And I didn't see how much it cost on Magic 5.
Well, it didn't seem to be much of a difference.
Because... Actually, no, it was a difference. It went from 75 to 45.
Oh, wow. Discount. So, Level Engine...
It was 72 to 40. Well, either which way, it got a lot cheaper now.
Alright, let me see. 16 times 5 is 80. So, not quite able to cast it twice at this point.
Still only have enough magic for one cast of Fairy, but BuzzThunder finds the BuzzThunder finds the item room. Yeah, but looks like Level Engine kind of stuck here. He has to take a death to even get out.
Yeah, because to leave the room, he'd have to use Fairy again, so he's going to waste Fairy again.
And there's the hammer. Okay, so this speculative thing has suddenly become very irrelevant.
Wow, so...
So yeah, at this point, we already have the spell. We got that, we had that from the beginning.
Yeah, I know we have spell.
Yeah, so and there's a 33% chance that we'd be able to get the first item. After, presumably, clearing out that first palace on the east, whether there's 3 or 6.
Well, I would say...
my thought is, do you go to New Kasuto just on the thought that there's a key there just to make life easier moving forward?
I would go to New Kasuto, pop the spell, hope I get a magic jar, which then opens up the key. On a 6-jar requirement.
You can at least check the magic requirement on the way there, but yeah.
I mean,
it's somewhere between 5 and 7.
Like it would be the perfect storm, where you check it, it's like, oh, I need 6. Okay, I'll go to the spell tower. Oh, look, I got the magic jar. Yay me. Because otherwise, you're going to have to dive another palace that is not Palace 1 just to... Ooh, level engine, getting a massive red potion drop, getting the hammer, and just up an ang, surprisingly. Well, actually not, but...
And Jake Hopper in chat noting that apparently Magic 6 wasn't that much more expensive than Life 6, but Level Engine went for the Life level instead.
Now that might be a big oof for Level Engine.
I guess whenever we see Magic 6, I guess we'll see how much of a difference that makes on the fairy cost.
Well, the fairy cost went down at Magic 5. It's not
Right.
guaranteed to go down at every level, I believe. Of course, as the commentator, I reserve the right to be completely, entirely wrong at all points ever. There's more fine print to that disclaimer, but we'll leave it at that.
And BuzzThunder places his first gem.
And Jake Hopper also pointing out that if you're trying to death abuse, taking a life level seems counterproductive.
Yeah, that's what the issue was. Okay, I understand now. That is kind of a rough time to be taking that level, though. If you end up going to be upping after getting the item anyway, then I guess it makes some sense. The level engine finishing up the boss, while BuzzThunder. We're gonna see whether this is 3 or 6, and
that does not look like 3 to me.
I was about to say that it did, but I don't know. And that took out the locked door? What? I didn't know that did that.
Oh yeah, you can elevator abuse to get rid of that locked door.
Fair enough. And yep, that's definitely 3.
Wow. So, that epic level 3... So, Level Engine finding a magic jar, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so up to 6
really? I didn't
jars.
even see where that was.
Oh, neither did I.
Well, it might. Well, there was one Hammerlock cave. It might have been in there. I wasn't watching.
So BuzzThunder is going to, at least temporarily, tie the score at 2 palaces apiece. I think Level Engine's going to jump right into Palace 3, however.
Yeah.
So, Level Engine actually not even bothering with the elevator, just going, alright, I've got a key, I'll use it. Let's do this.
And I know that BuzzThunder didn't even bother trying to hunt down the item in 3, but considering what they've got, they might just be in crystals and go at this point.
Well, Fairy's really your only gating mechanism at this point. The key almost doesn't seem to be required in any way. I mean, it seems to be more quality of life upgrade, but Level Engine still does have to pick up Reflect, so he'll need to take a little pit stop there.
Well, he should be passing by Darunia on the way there anyway, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Oh, it looks like he is going to try and check that 50-50 on New Kasudo as well. Since for him it is 50-50.
Yeah. Well, we know what we know. Oh, Level Engine's not even checking the magic jar
he's just going for the spell. He's not even going to go for the item, at least not the first one.
So, BuzzThunder into Palace 4 as Level Engine exploring New Kasudo. Level Engine's going to pick up the life spell here.
Yep.
I think he's hoping it's Reflect, but we know it is not.
It is not. And BuzzThunder didn't take long to get to the boss here in 4.
No, it looked like he just ran to the right a lot.
It looks like Level is going to be checking the spell tower, so you can see what we got here. And then maybe check the magic container requirement on the way out. Because if this is magic container number 7, then you're guaranteed to get the other thing.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Wow.
So you're guaranteed to get at least something. Whether it's something good, might be a whole nother issue.
Well, I didn't quite call it completely correct, as Level Engine got the 6th jar before getting into the spell tower, but I called the spell tower having a jar in it. Not that was really difficult, knowing what we know at this point. The only real whammy could have been the flute, which would be a completely unusable item.
Yeah, and he's not even checking for it. Okay.
Okay. Interesting call, but unless he has a hint that says, okay, the old lady's got the flute.
Which I don't think I don't recall seeing any random hints.
I mean, that's the 50-50 play that would work out for him, because you could get the key like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the key would give him a massive advantage over Level Engine in that over BuzzThunder, because BuzzThunder would still have to death abuse, potentially, for Fairy.
But yeah, the Level Engine will get at least 2 Fairy casts per life.
That is true. So maybe Level Engine's decided, okay, it's just a waste of 10 seconds, but I think
and I did know
that it's worth it.
And I did know BuzzThunder just got Magic 6, but it did not affect the cost of Fairy. It's still 45.
So BuzzThunder is still limited to 1 Fairy per life until he finds the last magic jar. I can't fathom him going into a hammer-blocked cave on the Western continent when he's clearing Eastern palaces.
Right.
So this will put Level Engine into Palace 4, almost certainly, with having Reflect.
And now Level Engine has the full suite of spells.
And it looks like he's just leveraging his way down toward Palace 4 at this point.
Yeah.
That is not the cave you were looking for, Level Engine. There you go.
Might have been just resetting the encounters or something.
That's true. I mean, I'm certainly not going to, hey, you're the number 4 seed. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. So, yeah, it might just be resetting the encounters, but Level Engine has used his final key that I believe he has in his inventory. But there should not be anything blocking him as BuzzThunder goes out of his way to collect a key. Uh-oh,
yeah.
Level Engine, you're supposed to drop there, big boy.
Well, if this is a dead end, that'll send him right back in that direction.
Because BuzzThunder dropped.
Yep, and there's a dead end.
There's the dead end, so I recalled BuzzThunder dropping down, and then basically the next room was Karok.
Oh, yeah. Trying to death abuse off of bubbles, but one of the worst things is the bubbles don't do much damage, especially when you're at life 6.
Yeah, now see, BuzzThunder is going out of his way here and lost 45 seconds at least, if not more, to pick up a key. Well, picking up another key. And then having to die on top of it. It's just yuck. Oh, level engine. Level engine not seemingly able to get to Karok as quickly as BuzzThunder did.
And BuzzThunder finds a dead end.
The way things are looking, BuzzThunder is going to try to complete 3, 4, 5, and 6, then head back to Palace 1 and go into the Great Palace. Whereas Level Engine still going to have to do a little bit of work here. Technically speaking, I want to say... Actually, it's a little difficult to call who's actually ahead right now. Level Engine has more spell power in being able to use Fairy repeatedly per life. But BuzzThunder seems to be ahead strictly from an exploration point of view, as this will be his 4th palace once he finishes off Barba.
Yeah, I think... Oh, geez, well...
Ooh, that was a good jackhammer. Knocked him down to 2, so...
Yeah, seeing anyone doing that's always a little... That always makes me a little nervous.
Alright, so that advantage that I said BuzzThunder had, pretty much going to the wayside. Level Engine going after Karok right now, so both runners going to finish their 4th palace within a pretty short amount of time.
And Magic 7 did make Fairy cost less. It bumped it down to 37. Which that's two Fairy casts per life for Buzz.
Yes,
now.
It will be. Yeah.
So at this point, the big difference here will be how long does it take Level Engine to get through Piece 6? If he takes a more efficient route than BuzzThunder did, that could make a good bit of difference.
Well, BuzzThunder went out of his way to pick up 2 keys, so Level Engine has about a minute's worth of advantage time, strictly speaking, from how long it took BuzzThunder to get through Palace 6.
And Level Engine wasn't able to get the fairy feet off.
Yeah, that's going to be a little rough. You may want to try to encounter skip, but
there we go.
Level Engine getting the fairy feet and getting it again, so that'll be going to reset his lives and everything, and into Palace 6 we go. BuzzThunder looks to be into Palace 5 at this point.
Yep.
So, Level Engine into 6, BuzzThunder into 5. Here's the question. Is Level Engine going to lose any kind of advantage that he may have built up? Because BuzzThunder only will have Palace 1 remaining once he finishes 5.
Potentially, yeah. Because after P5, he may just end up burning that gem and just immediately up-Aing over to the west side to knock out 1.
Well, that's what I'm thinking at this point. So Level Engine is going to have a bit of a taller task with having to finish 5 and 6 compared to BuzzThunder finishing 5 and then 1. Now, again, it is speculation, but I think at this point that's really where we're at to see, what the end game is for both of our runners.
Yeah, basically it all comes down to how the palaces are laid out and how our runners path their way through it.
Alright, so if I were to offer you an even money bet right now between BuzzThunder and levelengine, who gets into the Great Palace first?
I would probably say BuzzThunder at this point, mostly because we already see him. He's on Guma already. And even if they were both on the bosses now, I would still say BuzzThunder would get through P1 faster than levelengine would get through P5. So yeah, I would give the edge to BuzzThunder at this point.
Okay.
My question is, will he actually take this level, or will he just up A immediately?
Well, it would be attack 6, wouldn't it? Or life 8. Looks like he's taking it.
It is
He
attack
wants that
6, so
attack
he is taking the attack 6.
And off he goes. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Alright, so because I was watching the chess competition going on, I'm now like, alright, in that mode of, alright, think 10 moves ahead, what are they going to do? Is there anything that would get in BuzzThunder's way that would stop him from being able to freely explore the Great Palace?
I don't believe so. He's got down stab, up stab. So there's no locked doors in GP, so that's not an issue. Yeah, the only thing that would stop him at this point is if GP is just plain mean. And I don't even know if that would really benefit levelengine, because he'd likely have to go through the same thing.
So very true. Alright, so I guess it's safe to say that BuzzThunder might be developing a bit of an advantage at this point, because he will be very shortly going into Great Palace, while levelengine is still trying to find his way through Palace 6 and has 5 to go.
Mm-hmm. And GP is right there.
Yeah, so just about 57 minutes flat for BuzzThunder to find his way into Great Palace.
And he takes Magic 8. And Fairy's still 37. Didn't see how much Thunder costs, but I presume he'd be able to cast it, or else he wouldn't be in here right now. That would be a bad bit of what am I trying to think of? Of just obliviousness, which sounds like something I do.
Wandering around and going, oops, yeah, I can't cast Thunder, oopsie daisy.
Buzz taking a drop in the L7 room, I think. Isn't this Jackamus room? I don't... Oh, well, there's Thunderbird right there. Okay, that was...
Let's find out if BuzzThunder has enough to cast Thunder. Yes, he does.
Yep, it's 39. Yeah, he has enough to cast it and cast Shield on top of it.
So BuzzThunder might be able to clear out the Thunderbird and then some. Levelengine just struggling mightily here with Palace 6.
Yeah, these later palaces can be kind of a bear to explore. And down goes Thunderbird.
I like that Thunderbird gives you a key, but then there's no lock behind it to actually open.
Well, there's probably just part of the game code. A boss drops key.
Yeah, very true.
And we got more stuff to explore after Thunderbird. So the fact that Thunderbird was that early can still lead to a very trolly GP, because who knows where Dark Link will be at this point.
Well, there was one drop before Thunderbird. So we'll see. Oh, looks like levelengine gonna go for the jackhammer. See if we can pull it off. No, just gonna go for jump and use the pointy end on the bad guy.
When it comes down to it, most video games kind of amount to that. Stick the pointy end in the bad guy. Oop, that move finishes off with a jackhammer. Nice. And gets a level from the Barbify. That's nice.
Yeah, so this should be Attack 6 and Magic 7 coming in for levelengine.
Oh, geez, and Trails in chat bring it up. That was his last life too. That was
Yowzers.
That was some risky stuff there, but it paid off for him.
Alright, well, levelengine had to be careful there, because he would have got trapped on that one by Fairy Feet. But off to Maze Island, levelengine goes to head into Palace 5. The problem is, BuzzThunder's already had a little over 3 minutes and 45 seconds worth of exploration time in Great Palace.
And, well, there's Dark Link right there.
Well, yeah, and at 4 minutes, he finds Dark Link, which, sorry, levelengine, but it looks like BuzzThunder's gonna get this one.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Yep. Quick and easy, and BuzzThunder finishes first place with an official SRL time of 1:01:24. GG.
And that will move him into the semifinals of the Randomizer competition. Let me look up real quick who it is that he will be facing. Oh, it's our upset specialist, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that should be a fun one to see.
And Nightcrawler in the previous round defeating the defending champion, Rose City Saint. So BuzzThunder moving on against Nightcrawler, and unfortunately for levelengine, that will put him down into the losers bracket. And it looks like a date with Dr. J, PhD, to potentially continue on in the tournament. And if he were to move on, the very high likelihood of visiting Rose City Saint in the losers bracket looms in the distance, 2 matches away for levelengine.
Yeah, seeing Rose City Saint on the way in the losers bracket, it's never a pleasant moment. It's just, you always got to worry about that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, levelengine at least can get the t-shirt saying, I lost to BuzzThunder and Rose City Saint over the course of a tournament. You know, not exactly weak losses, but unfortunately... I guess he still can win against Rose City Saint. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
For this one.
Yeah, anything is possible, sure. Goodness knows BuzzThunder knocked me out of the last tournament, so I know how that feels.
I mean, Nightcrawler did pull off the upset, so, hey, it may just not be Rose City Saints' tournament this time around.
At least that's the nature of randomizers for you. 'Cause anything can happen. On any day, on any seed, you could just have somebody's number.
And it looks like BuzzThunder joining us. GG, my friend.
Hello, thank you very much.
So, how'd you feel? Anything that really threw you off in this particular seed, or was it straightforward?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things that were potentially on the table, whether maybe you needed hammer, or yeah, just hammer for that extra spell, which I ended up getting anyways and not using. But
we did
really...
find out from a level engine that the far end item in New Kasuto was another magic container.
Okay, yeah, another magic container would have been helpful, because that was the main thing, was rationing magic and keys and stuff like that, but it seems so much worse in this one, just because I had that much health, but it didn't really come into play. I managed to pick up enough keys that I didn't have to suicide that many times.
And level engine actually has 7 magic containers. I didn't see where he got the 6th one from. I suspect it was maybe from a Hammerlock cave or something.
Yeah, it was a Hammerblock cave.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
And
so
what-
that's 2 of them were blocked under a hammer. So the other one's probably in a palace or Death Mountain then.
Well, he never did check what the first item in New Kasuto was. He just passed by it, going both ways. So the other one could have been there.
Right.
Yeah, 7th jar leading to the 8th. Right in the
But yeah,
same town.
This seed, it started you off with a glove. That was basically you had to find a lot of things as far as when am I going to get that fairy spell or the magical key. But once you got that, yeah, it was pretty quick once I found all the pieces, and then just go destroy palaces. Play 6 gems in like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Now,
once
I
you're able to
almost-
get all the items, getting through all the palaces didn't take too long. Although I think level engine at the very least had a bit more of an issue getting through 4 than you, and that was probably one big thing that put you ahead.
Yeah, 4 is it generally builds it that way. More often than not, you'll find Karak down there at the bottom. So if you know that little trick and just you see that drop room drop to the bottom, it's a good chance you're gonna finish it really quick if you don't need to look for the item or anything.
Now, I'm almost curious if you wouldn't mind jumping back in and going to New Kasuto just to see what the old lady item was. Because I'm sitting here and I'm going, it's got to be the key. But then it could be the flute, it could be something else that's kind of junk. And I'm like, all right, where the heck was the key?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can get Level Engine to do it.
Well, it could be.
You're not gonna
Level
help me
Engine's
out
going
here?
through GP now, but frankly, it could have been in 3, 4, 5, 6. Death Mountain still has 2 items that we don't know about.
Oh yeah, it could have been a lot of places, but I'm just curious as to what that old lady's item was. And it's one of
Yeah,
those
I don't know,
where,
now that I've completed it, I would have to start all over.
oh, you can't just jump right back in with the full save?
No, it loops around to New Game Plus at that point.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I never had a save, so I think it's already... I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of curious. What happens if I reset? It probably makes a save point right after the end credits here. So if I reset before the credits are completed... Oh, no, that actually didn't save it. So you have to hit start after the end of the credits for it to go to New Game Plus. If you reset before that happens, apparently it doesn't work. So you've learned something today.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a fresh file now. Because I never saved.
Oh, really? Oh, I guess you just continue or something. I don't know.
Right, yeah, I just do the up A and the continue. And I never actually takes an extra second to save to go back to the title screen, but
Right, yeah.
Oh, so it's all the way back to you, as if you just started the game. What a shame. Oh well.
Well, we
I
learned
mean,
something new today, at least.
yeah, you can go ahead and play it on your own.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, we already have the advantage of knowing where a lot of things are.
Yeah, where was the hammer? In 2?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of you got the hammer. And it was in one of the dungeons, and I think it was 2 that you had gone into first. It was the first palace item you found, Buzz.
Yeah, that's the way I routed out. Well, the only reason I went and got it was because I still only had one fairy cast. I had full magic, so I was like, well, maybe there's another magic jar. So once I found the item room, I was like, yeah, it's worth my time to actually go and grab it. But just the hammer was kind of worthless, so. But yeah, I did end up with Magic 8, which that's kind of rare that you get those kind of levels.
Yeah, I believe you both ended up with 6, 8, 7, which getting that magic 7 definitely helped you though, lowering the fairy cost.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had to. It was so late in the game that I think there was only one point where I actually got to cast fairy 2 times, before dying. So it was kind of a contingency plan that I never really had to use. But you got to prepare for the worst. I mean, it helped out that 6. A couple enemies dropped keys, but also there was a few keys on the ground in 6.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, because you seem to be hoarding keys in Palace 6, and I guess that was...
Not to mention the lengthy death abuse on the bubble.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, that was... I think that wasn't necessary.
I was going to forget about that minor little detail, but since you brought it up...
Yeah, I don't think that ended up being necessary the way that the palace was. I think I could have dropped right past that, because it kind of... It forced you into another drop, I think, after that, but in Palace 6, I'm not going to drop if I can't cast Fairy.
And oof, Darkling getting the jump on levelengine takes... he was at, 1 hit at that point anyway. Thankfully, he's still got lives left.
Yeah, levelengine taking the L to Dark Link the first time around, but I think levelengine will take it down this time.
Oh yeah,
a little
definitely.
more properly prepared.
I'd say with 8 heart containers, unless he's fighting him legit.
No, he's
not.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the start having the 5 lives and full life?
Yeah, I mean, when I see that, I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about dying. Well, I don't know. I probably died once or twice, maybe. But it was like, yeah, you don't really have to think about that. It's like survivability didn't really matter. Damage boosting, that's a lot of the things. So just like, well, I can just damage boost through these guys. Like there was a Red Daira encounter where I killed 2 of them. And I was like, it's not worth the time to kill these guys because they didn't have that much experience. You're better off just one-hitting bots because there's a chance they're going to drop a bag instead. So just kind of ignore everything else and kill the easy low-health enemies. It's going to be faster.
Yep. Meanwhile, levelengine finishes in 2nd place with a time of 1:12:13. GG. And we have levelengine in the booth. GG.
I see you do.
So, what were your thoughts on this seed as a whole?
As a whole, wasn't expecting it to be that long. Wasn't expecting 6 gems this time around.
Well, it was a 1 in 7 chance.
Plus, we barely start with any items. There wasn't that much free in the seed aside from, of course, the glove, which we started with. And there was Palace 3 in the spell.
So one thing I noticed when you went into New Kasuto on route to P4, did you just feel behind at that point? Because I was kind of curious as to why you just passed by that for the first item.
I felt like I was indeed behind. I mean, I still had to find Reflect. Was definitely more important. Whatever random item would have been there.
Right. Yeah. It was the 50-50 on that one, right?
Because I knew for a fact we couldn't do the C without Reflect.
And my mind's kind of blanked on what
And
to say.
Thunder was also required.
Yes. Yeah, Thunderbird was early, which meant there was a whole lot of GP left to go for it to be trolly on that regard. And I think my mind's kind of blank now. All of a sudden.
I see BuzzThunder got Reflect sooner.
Yeah, mostly because he went to. Yeah, pretty much went to check that
Maze
spell
Island,
not long
right,
after
that
exploring
off.
Maze Island.
Whereas I put off Maze Island, looking for Old Kasuto, which had Thunder, which, yeah, we needed that too.
Yeah. Although Buzz did actually check the hint for Reflect, so he knew that the child was in the maze.
I did just see that. I'm actually watching back through some of the race right now.
One question I had early, there was a key drop, and instead of you ran past the key drop, and it just kind of in go mode early there, or just didn't see it, or
I didn't feel like it would have been worth it, but probably should have picked it up.
Yeah, considering that we never, from either of you, we never saw where the key was, where the magic key was.
Likely was deep in some palace, or in Death Mountain.
Or that
Unless
first
one of
item
us
in New
checked off
Kasuto,
that.
that was a possibility as well.
It was that far into the seed that I didn't really need the key that badly. Earlier on, it would have been way more crucial to find that.
Right.
Later in the seed, it doesn't do quite as much.
So getting that 7th magic container in New Pipe was probably not a bad thing to see, just so you have more potentially more fairy casts.
GG to both BuzzThunder and levelengine. Any final thoughts before we wrap up and head out of here for the day?
No, not really. Just looking to see when BuzzThunder started doing palaces. Because the bulk of the seed was just doing the palaces.
Yeah, I think it was shortly. I think his first palace was P2, and I think it was a bit not long after you were doing P1.
Yeah, you were both in 2 at the same time.
It's just the main thing is he was able to get through 4 a lot faster, and him having 1 as his last palace as opposed to you having 5 as your last palace also kind of helped in that regard, I think.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Considering 1 and GP were not too far from one another.
Right.
Yeah, it would have been just perfectly sensible to just save that for last. And then just walk to Great Palace, which was just not a short walk. Well, not a long walk. Yeah, because the seed we had was just simply... You didn't have to walk too far from P1 to GP at all. Even then, it wasn't that far a walk from where you start to the Great Palace either.
Mhm.
And I was able to just force the game over to get right back to the start point. Obviously, I wouldn't walk all the way back, knowing I don't have to.
Yeah, one thing I was kind of idly wondering when you guys were doing your last palaces, I was kind of wondering if you would end up mostly BuzzThunder because his. I was wondering if you would be like maybe burning your gem in 5 before upping back to the west or not. It's like whether waiting for attack 6 would. Well, I
Or
mean,
Magic
attack
8.
6,
I got Magic 8 off of that gem I placed in Palace 5.
yeah.
I mean, I can't recall the last time I ever had Magic 8 in one of these seeds anyways.
Well, I say
Especially
given how often
fewer than 6 gems, so usually don't want to have to grind out to Magic 8. It's just like too time consuming.
right. That's one benefit of doing the palaces I get later in the seed, I guess, so you get all those later levels for free.
But the benefit to doing them earlier is having them finished sooner.
True. It all depends on
If you
when
can
you
make
get
do
the
with the
items
lower
you need for
levels.
them, I guess.
But I got some of the items I needed fairly late. I mean, I did want to just getting Reflect and Fairy both out of the way. And Reflect was the last spell that was left to find, too.
And naturally, like I want to say, like, most I think it was like half the spells were vanilla.
Well, with that, I think I just want to extend a big GG again to levelengine and BuzzThunder. Please give both of our runners a follow today. Big thank you to our tracker, Siberian. Couldn't have done this without him, and our 2 commentators today, Melee Wizard and Freako. Excellent job, both of you. Thank you for joining me today. Plenty going on here on ZSR today. Have a Majora's Mask Randomizer weekly race going on right now that we'll be heading off to here in a moment. But Ocarina of Time Randomizer, couple races, couple Link to the Past, all dungeon races coming up. And later tonight at 9:30, we're gonna have. Hopefully, we will have Jackamus versus Rose City Saint.
Z2, right?
Yeah,
Z2, yeah.
little more Max Rando for you here tonight.
Nice.
Still hoping to get that one on the air. We will see as we get further into the night. But
And I will likely be in the booth for that one as well. So,
Oh, so a little doubleheader for us tonight.
we'll do our best to get that one on the air. So we'll hopefully see you all back here a little bit later tonight. Thank you very much. And we will see you all soon. Have a nice day.
Have a good night, everybody.